Hello, everyone. I hope you all can hear us. Um, Thank you for joining our webinar on this SAP Sales Cloud series. We'll be organizing series of such webinars in coming weeks and months as there's more and more interest coming up for C4HANA and increased focus on customer experience from SAP. So quickly go through the agenda, what we would like to present today. So first and foremost, we're going to do our introduction. Who are we and what we intend to do here in this SAP CX space. And the next one, we will talk about what are the various integration scenarios for SAP C4HANA Sales Cloud. And then we'll move on to the next topic, which is what we are here to discuss about the C4HANA Sales Cloud and SAP Business One integration. Okay. And then we'll walk you through what all you need to take care of while establishing this integration between the two systems. And then Jeff will help us do the demo, and then we'll open up for Q&A and end the session. We just have 1 hour here, so let's take this. So my name is Sanjay Singh. So a lot of you are already connected with me through LinkedIn, and very happy to be part of this ecosystem. I'm a partner here at ASAR America. We are SAP certified partner for customer experience. And also I'm a SAP Press author. I have already authored a couple of books around SAP Hybris and Sales Cloud. And our new book on SAP C4HANA is being released at Sapphire in May, in next less than three months. So a lot of your questions which you might have about overall product, about Sales Cloud, about integration, those things are covered in this book when it comes in May. So next with me, I have Jeff Ryan. He's our SAP CX Solution Advisor. He'll be helping me walk through this demo when we get to that part of the presentation. So the first and foremost, let's talk about what are the integration scenarios available in C4HANA. Okay? So now in C4HANA, as you all know, it is basically a suite of solutions which enables customers to offer the complete end-to-end customer experience solution. And that spans across, mainly there are 5 pillars, what SAP is marketing the C4HANA solution as a customer experience solution. One is the sales, as you already know, we are going to talk about sales, then service, commerce, marketing, and then the 5th pillar is the customer data cloud, which is also nothing but the Gigya. The SAP did the acquisition of Gigya, I believe, earlier 2018 or sometime 2017, and they are renaming that brand as Customer Data Cloud. So there is a lot of renaming, a lot of rebranding. So I strongly encourage you all to keep track of all the naming coming up from SAP under this SAP Customer Experience and C4HANA. Even in Sales Cloud, so if you remember, Sales and Service Cloud both were referred jointly as a cloud for customer, but then recently SAP has been augmenting or beefing up the offerings of their Sales and Service Cloud with acquisition from Calidus Cloud, with acquisition from Core Systems. So even though you might see the solution offered as or branded as a Sales Cloud, but that not necessarily mean that it is just a cloud for customer. Okay, so cloud for customer in conjunction with offerings from Calidus Cloud like CPQ, offerings such as sales performance or sales compensation management, sales enablement. So all the different solutions are there which are brought under the name of SAP Sales Cloud. So when you sign up for the Sales Cloud, definitely if you're looking at integrating those Calidus Cloud solutions, so those you need to take into account. It's not just like all available as a part of the cloud for customer. You know, they are like different cloud, and SAP is in the process of unifying the user experience, the UI piece of different offerings under the Sales Cloud or even the Service Cloud from Calidus or C4C. But then in terms of actual solution, they are different cloud, and you need to make sure that you have taken into account the integration, that how those specific components within the Sales Cloud are talking to each other in terms of harmonizing the data, in terms of exchanging the master data as well as transaction data. So when I'm talking about the C4HANA Sales Cloud integration with other C4HANA components, what I mean by that is integrating your cloud for customer sales piece with, say, Calidus components, with, say, service component of non-C4C service component. I meant by the field service management solution from core systems, by the commerce cloud solution, by the marketing cloud solution, or the customer data cloud solution. And the standard integration platform, as you all know, is available from SAP. It's called SAP Cloud Integration Platform, formerly known as HANA Cloud Integration Platform, HCI, but now it's called SAP Cloud Integration Platform. So by default, any component under the SAP umbrella, you resort to the SAP Cloud Integration Platform to integrating those different pieces together. And that goes across C4HANA components, as well as goes outside C4HANA, which is basically your S4HANA component. This is all the ERP backends, like if you have S4HANA or you have SAP ECC, or even to some extent, customers who are running SAP CRM, you will need SAP Cloud Integration Platform to integrate with those systems. Companies who are running SAP Process or PI or XI, also known as XI, those customers can continue to use those middleware, or even some third-party middleware if their customers are using that, like Tibco and all. They can leverage that as well to integrate with C4HANA components or with their backend systems. If somebody is running non-SAP third-party systems like non-SAP ERP, or say integration with their website or any other third-party marketing solutions or commerce solution, you can still integrate your Sales Cloud using the REST as well as SOAP APIs. So all these options are available, again, depending on what is your landscape look like, what solutions you have in scope. So you'll pick the integration solution, what you need to take into account while building your the target architecture. So as a part of this presentation, we are going to talk about SAP Business One integration with SAP Sales Cloud. Okay, so now we have heard a lot, like almost like last 2.5, 3 years, SAP Business One integration has been available with SAP Sales Cloud. But unfortunately or fortunately, not many customers have done the implementation of integrating with Business One and Sales Cloud. And so we took that as a challenge, and one of our customers, they partnered with us, and we said that let's implement SAP Sales Cloud with SAP Business One. And that's what we're going to show you in the demo, how we have enabled that integration. So before we go into that, let me just kind of walk you through the standard. You might have seen this slide, that how different components of C4HANA, like Sales Cloud or Marketing Cloud, Service Cloud, or Commerce Cloud, how they come together to offer the end-to-end customer experience solution, and then also with the SAP ERP or S4HANA in the backend. Okay, as you see here that your ERP backend system remains your system of record when it comes to products, when it comes to prices, okay, when it comes to your customer information, okay, and then you have all those informations coming in to these recipient systems, okay. That could be your Marketing Cloud. So when you have a Marketing Cloud in the scope or in your landscape, then you need to bring your business partners or customers from your backend ERP system into the Marketing Cloud. Same way, if you have your Commerce Cloud in the mix, then in the Commerce Cloud, as you know, you need a customer, right? You need a product, you need price. So you bring those information into the Commerce Cloud. And again, in terms of integration, you'll be using SAP Cloud Integration Platform for replicating those master data into those recipient target systems. If you have a service in the scope, as you see on the right-hand side, the sales and service. So right now in diagram, what you see here, I have depicted both the sales and service cloud as a part of one cloud. And this refers to as a cloud for customer. But then you have some of these other solutions from Calidus or the core systems field service management solution. So those will be in addition to that. And those are the additional integration you need to take into account. So now let's go into the SAP Business One integration. So as I said earlier, in 2016, or I believe sometime 2015, SAP announced there's an integration framework, that is the integration package delivered as a part of SAP Business One software. So you do not need any kind of middleware outside SAP Business One. So if you're running SAP Business One 9.1 onward, you already have this integration framework built as a part of your SAP Business One software. So what you need to do is you just need to enable that and then leverage that framework to integrate with the SAP Cloud for Customer solution to enable those standard integration packages, which we're going to talk about that. Okay. So then again, I'm just reiterating that if you are running SAP Business One and you need to integrate with SAP Sales Cloud, which is the Cloud for Customer, then in that case, you do not need any integration as such like HCI or PI or any third party. Like your integration package required as a part of the integration framework is delivered with your SAP Business One system. So what is the standard content delivered as a part of this integration with SAP Business One and SAP Sales Cloud? As you see here on this diagram, the first is like items. So all the items is nothing but your product masters, all the product definitions, what you define on the SAP Business One. We have a one-way replication into SAP Sales Cloud or Cloud for Customer. So anytime you create a new product in your SAP Business One, those products will come into SAP Cloud for Customer as a product. You will not be allowed to make any changes, and rightly so, on those products in Cloud for Customer because your SAP Business One is a system of record for your product master. Okay. However, when it comes to business partner or the customer, you can do bi-directional sync between SAP Business One as well as your SAP Sales Cloud or Cloud for Customer. So you create a new customer in Sales Cloud, it goes into your SAP Business One as a business partner. On the other hand, if you create a business partner in Business One, it comes in your Sales Cloud as a customer. And those existing records, if you make any changes in either of those two systems, those changes are replicated back into the recipient system. So you always have a single source of truth, single version of data in between both the systems. Similar to account and contact account, you have a contact between both those systems, Business One and Sales Cloud. Accounts, contacts are replicated between those two systems. Now, the next part is little, worth paying attention here, that when you create a sales quote in Sales Cloud or C4C, what you can do is you can request external pricing from SAP Business One. Since your SAP Business One is a system of record for the pricing information, so you want to maintain price of your products, or which could be product-specific price or customer-specific price. You maintain those prices on SAP Business One, just like SAP ERP or S4HANA. And then when you're creating a sales quote in SAP Sales Cloud, you request external pricing. And that time, a real-time call is made to your backend system, which in our case, SAP Business One. And price is fetched into the sales quote in your Sales Cloud. You do have the option of updating that price. Suppose there's some manual condition you want to add, some manual discount you want to add on the Sales Cloud side. You have that option to enable that. Again, you can control that through the configuration if you want to allow that or you do not want to allow that. And then after you have requested external pricing from Business One in your sales quote in Sales Cloud, you have an option of submitting that sales quote. What that means is that you are approving that quote to be replicated to SAP Business One. And then in that case, there is a follow-up sales order created in SAP Business One with a reference to the sales quote in Sales Cloud. And all the data from Sales Cloud, in that case, will replicate back to SAP Business One in the sales order. Now, only caveat here is that when you submit the sales quote to the Business One as a sales order, then sales quote in Sales Cloud or C4C is locked. Then after that, you will not be able to make any changes into that quote because an order has already been created, and any changes you need in that sales order, then you need to go into SAP Business One and make those changes right in that transaction. And any changes done in the sales order in Business One will not replicate back into the sales quote in SAP Sales Cloud, because these are two different transactions. What you have in Business One is a follow-up sales order. What you have in the Sales Cloud is, or the C4C is the preceding document, which is a sales quote. So it's not exactly the same document. It's just like a follow-up document. So that's where the changes don't go back to the sales quote from sales order. A lot of our customers, so they have asked that how do we see that sales order in C4C, and for that you will have to do a separate integration. This is standard integration will not work if you want to see the sales order from SAP Business One in Sales Cloud. So with that, I would like to transition into my colleague, Jeff Ryan. Jeff will walk us through that what all you need to be aware of, or what all the activity you need to do to enable this integration, and then we'll go through the demo. Jeff, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to take over. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, this is our C4C instance that we'll be using for the demo today. And with this, I'll also have a B1 instance that we'll be using. So first, we'll refer back to the documents Sanjay was just going over, the slide 7 here. So in this, you'll see that we have the product and item. Let's open this full here. So you have the product and item and how the mapping is configured and done. So I'll switch back over here. And the first thing about doing this installation is obtaining a certificate from the SAP Business One. So a couple of things that we ran into, you have to have an SAP Business One that is a 9.1 or higher for the installation. So this is something to make the client aware of before you start installing. And then after that, you have to download a root CA certificate from SAP Sales Cloud. So that ticket key is aligned with this key right here. It'll be aligned with your URL. So when you download this root key, you'll be giving that to your B1 instance, which then in turn allows you to establish a connection between both B1 and C4C. So after you obtain that connection piece, the next piece is to enable scoping and the integration with SAP ERP and enable sales quotes to establish this sales orders creation in B1. That's referring to the object number 7, where we're taking products, or what they're called items in B1, and becoming products in C4C. And then you'll define an external condition types and pricing. So for that, we maintain this code list here. And in this code list, you'll see, for instance, we have one here for the unit of measurement here. What this is referring to is this is a local system. So this is our C4C system. And this is the external code, which will be coming from B1. So when we maintain this list, we maintain the same external and internal codes. So when the system reads these in, it will select these values in the description. It will upload the correct data to the product that's being pulled in. Now these code lists, they involve every aspect of the install. So you'll see even for business partner, we have different code listings that come from B1. And by maintaining this list, whatever you wish to pull in from the client's B1 instance can be pulled in just by confirming this mapping. So in order to get that established, you first have to create a communication system arrangement. So this communication system is what we use to actually establish a connection. So if I go in here, you'll see that we're pulling it in, and actually we give our host name to where we're pulling in the system instance from. And this shows you the active system arrangements that we have with this system. So you can see currently in here, we have our pricing requests for follow-up and for replication scenarios. We also have our sales quote replication to SAP Business One. This is what transfers your sales quote into a sales order. And then up here, you'll see we have the business partner replication to and from as a standard for the install. And you'll notice down here that the sales material is only from Business One. And that is also what Sanjay touched on, that it's a standard implementation that we maintain the master product key, the master product item key in Business One, and only represent what is in that in the C4C side. So after that piece is installed, you'll see that you can go to your communications arrangements here. And individually, you'll go down and you will install and enable these different instances. For sales order integration here, this is actually creating the sales order on the back end. So we have a sales order application from SAP Business One, and there's one to SAP Business One. So if I click on the one that's pushing the sales order to it, or the sales quote to it, you'll see that we have established and enabled a connection. If this failed at this juncture, you'll receive a red marker here. They'll say that a connection has not been established. So we've defined how we've set up the system by getting the integration certificate from your B1, with it being a 9.1 or higher. We've discussed to download the root CA certificate from SAP Sales Cloud. The enabling scoping that is done through the configuration and edit activities. You go through and you can enable SAP ERP, enable system codes to establish that connection. This define external condition types and external pricing procedure. That's where we pull in the taxable information regarding the net worth of a certain item and the discounts applied to those items, if there is such in the B1 instance. Then we have define a communication system. So this is where we provide the host name to establish this connection. So I'll actually show this a little bit more in depth here of what we actually did in the system. So we go into here, you go to technical data here, and then when we go to edit these advanced settings, you'll start seeing that this is the core configuration that we used along with the path that we were provided. This pathway is provided by your B1 system when you obtain that root connection. This is assigned to you. So this is a assigned system pathway that we found in the system that we're calling B1 system, and we established it through port 8443. Now this porting issue was it became an issue with us because we need to establish connection through the client's firewall. So with everything being insecure, this is one piece that took a strenuous amount of time to get established. And then from here, they have the same connection with the same host name. You'll see our host hasn't changed for both of these, along with our login credentials. Here you could actually use a system key to generate the credentials. Instead, we used the Business One admin credential to actually establish this. So you'll see up here, the method is a user ID and a password. But there's also the availability of having a handshake key created for this. Okay, so we established the connection. We showed the host name. The communication arrangements we went through, we've shown how the business partner replication and onto the sales quotes and sales order replication. Then there's enable code list mapping. That's a section we went over. We showed the units of measurement and how the system will map whatever you pull into it by using these codes. Okay, and so for the demo, I'll start off here with showing the item to product replication in the system. So you'll see we have the 3638 blue line. This is a product from our client. And down here, you'll see it's been assigned an external ID. This is the ID that came in when we replicated this and we pushed this item into C4C. It maintains an external item. That way you could actually look at your B1 and confirm that this item has been assigned and been created. So to do that, I'll go to our B1. And you'll see here, this is that external ID number at the top. This is the description that is pulled in by C4C. And now when I go into C4C, you'll see it's been created. It's pulled in the category. It's pulled in the status, and it's also pulled in where we got this from. This is an external system, so it's representing that we got this from our B1 installation. And that goes back to our communication system here that shows that it was a B1 where we connected to. So in here, you'll see B1 integration. This is our system ID we connected to. So this gives you a trail or a pathway to realize if something is coming in wrong or not correct and where it's calling. So that that's been established, we can go on to the next part of this, which is showing the replication from business partner, which is B1, into creation of an account in our C4C system. So for that, I will open up this customer here. We have Kraft Oscar Mayer. Once again, you'll notice that there's an external ID. There's also a account information, and the ABC classification is also pulled in from B1, as well as pertinent information regarding addresses. So in here, we'll go ahead and we'll look at B1 system. And in B1 here, you'll notice that there is that external ID I was referencing. There is the description of the corporation, the company that we pulled in. And so with this system here now, we could actually, if I was to change or update the system, it will update, it's a bidirectional update. So if I update it in B1, it will create the update there, and it will save in our C4C system. Okay, the next is contact. So for this, we'll go to the contact section here, and we'll notice that the contact for this, so in the contact field here, you'll actually have your list of contacts provided for that customer that came in from the B1 system. And that brings us to our pricing. So here, this is a sales quote that was created. And I'll actually go to the sales quote section here so you can see the layout. So you'll see the system signed 350. This is our account for Kraft. So when I open up 350 here, you'll notice down there here, after your enablement phase, when you click into the scoping, you're actually provided with a button down here for request external pricing. So once you click on external pricing you requested, it'll go to your B1 system and it'll pull back the information based on that product. For this, we pull back the unit of $4,000 for this net price. And these different pricing procedures could be altered in your business system. So if I only wanted, for instance, I only wanted to pull in tax and I did not want to pull in any of these discounts or this net price here, I could pull in just 2 of these or just 1 of these if I desired to. In this instance, we pulled in what the client expected, so it's 4. So now if I go to the B1 system here, after I requested for external pricing, the next step is then to submit for approval. It's submitted successfully, went through the approval process. So now when I go back to the B1 system, you'll notice that it's now created a sales order. And how you can tell it's created a sales order uniquely to the system is you'll notice up here that the system provides this customer reference number, and it's always going to come C4C, and then it provides you the ticket number, or I'm sorry, the sales quote number. So this is C4C, and then 350 is calling back to this 350 being the sales quote. And then in here, you'll notice that it's got our item, it's got our quantity, and it's got our unit price. So in this system now, that sales quote has created an open sales order in the system. So we covered these steps here. You'll notice that the sales quote goes to sales order after request pricing. This request pricing is not bidirectional. It only comes in from B1, and then it goes from there to create the sales order. I'll send it back to you, Sanjay.
Perfect. Thank you. So that opens up the Q&A for our audience. So if you have any questions on this presentation for me or for Jeff. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, how to map organization units between SAP Business One and C4C. So you had to create one org unit, right, for Business One in C4C, Jeff?
Yes. So no, when we did let me share this really quick. So in your system here, you'll always maintain a organization breakdown that separates the C4C from the Business One. So you'll notice here, we have our sales organization at the high level, and then we have this one down here, which is a B1 pull-in. So what this is we'll maintain any sales order or any sales item, i.e. a partner or if it was a product item, it will maintain coming in on this ID number here, this S100 ID number. for all sales related stuff. For B1, so for B1 here, this is relating to your business users, or if you're pulling in business users, or if you're pulling in customers, they will be using this reference number to pull in. And that's how we maintain the org structure.
Next question we have is about licensing fees. So I'm not sure what's the question on licensing fees. I don't think there is a separate licensing for the integration framework. It comes as a part of your SAP Business One. So if you have a 9.1 or higher, you already have that framework. So if you have a license C4C, then integration can be enabled. That's the question you're asking. Is it separate for BI and C4C? Shekhar, can you clarify exactly what you're asking? I'm not following your question. Is it separate for B1 and C4C? So there's a question from Vishwanathan Krishnamurthy. How do we set up the org model in C4C? Are we downloading from CRM on-premise, or how it's done? So this, our webinar is focused on SAP Business One integration. So in that case, what we have done is we just, CRM is not in the scope for this webinar. I'm sorry, Vishwanathan. And as just now, Jeff showed how we set up the org structure in C4C. Okay, I have another question here. Can the customers and items replicate to C4C with the sales data such as payment terms? Yes, we have a payment terms. We replicated that, right, Jeff? The payment terms from Business One for the customer?
Yes, the payment terms that come over from Business One. Go down, select here.
Can you show that? I think we should be there.
Yeah. So you'll see here pricing right here. Let me move this out of the way. So you'll see here, this is maintained in our codeless mapping section. So if you go down here, you'll notice that in this, it asks you directly after your mapping group here. You can see it's our on-premise. So what this states here is that when it comes inbound, what do you wish to pull in? So for us, we pulled in only the pertinent information, i.e. the tax one we wanted. The client also wanted to have a gross discount one that was coming in on select products. So this is where you maintain that. Should I not, let's say I did not wish to maintain this list here, it's easy, you just remove it from that list and the system will not pull in. We also have, the reason you'll see more here than you do when we did the request here is because we actually maintained we pulled it in originally, and then we did a codeless restriction to block some of these out because the client wants to freely, should one day come that they want, let's say, freight to be in there, we'll just go in that codeless restriction and unblock it. But for the time being, we pulled them in and then just blocked the ones. And that's a standard practice. That's just to keep it to where the client, there's not a need for a lot of integration afterwards. It's just a matter of going in and unblocking.
Thanks, Jeff. We have a question from Shoaib. How does the data migration template work in this scenario? So Shoaib, since this is a direct integration between SAP Business One and Sales Cloud, so you not necessarily use the data migration. Basically, the data is replicated. So when you say your items, your customer, those things are replicated right through the integration. So you're not like using any template to load the data into the system. Everything flows through the integration.
Yeah, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up having on the B1 side, you'll create a scenario. And what the scenario will do is it will push all of your, for instance, what we did, we said to the system to push every business customer that was in their B1 that was active to our system. Now you could do it for all of them, but yes, there's a way. There is no template. It's all bidirectional and it flows.
Should we migrate external master data in S/4HANA? Oh, external master data. Oh, so that depends. Like, external master data, if it is coming from some other system and if that data needs to go to Business One, so you have to decide that what exactly that data. If you're talking about the customer, that's the customer data coming from some third-party system, and you need those data in SAP Business One, then of course our recommendation will be you start from C4C and then migrate into the Business One. This is the customer data. If it's a product, then you will do that directly in Business One. So again, depends on what master data are we talking about. and is this just one time or this is ongoing? So all those things you need to take into account for that integration.
I just heard we had a question about payment terms and pulling in, and I just show that real quick. So you'll see in here we have the payment terms and how it's presented in the system here. This came in, so if you go to the B1 instance of this, you'll see up here the payment terms, how it's C net 14 here. And now if I go to our system here, it's the same here. So that and the way the system works is in here, if I was to create a customer, the standard functionality is that when I create a customer, I do not put this payment terms. It's maintained in the B1. So if I create a customer in here and I send it to B1, B1 will then has its standard. Your finance department will review it, and then they'll assign it a payment term, and then it'll update in the system. And that's how we provide this one here. So it's bi-directional field.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you all joining. Hopefully, this was useful information for you all. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can always send us the email or the LinkedIn message, and we'll be happy to respond to your questions. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jeff.
Bye.